If you are still clicking around the WordPress dashboard for routine tasks, you are wasting time. In this video, I'll show you 10 WP-CLI commands that can save you hours of work, whether you are managing one site or dozens. Alright, let's jump into the video. First of all, I am opening my command prompt. I am inside the root of my installation. And first command which we have to check is the WP info command. It gives us details if our CLI is installed or not. Alright. So first of all, whenever you have to perform any task, make sure your CLI is installed and working properly. Alright. So then next step is skip manual app updates. How to do that? So we have to use our WP core update command. WP core update. What it will be doing? It will be updating your WordPress. Alright, as my WordPress is already up to date, so I am facing no issues, and you can see the success message here. Alright, so if I show you my website, here is my website, and if I refresh it, alright, it works all good. Alright, so third command is to update our plugins. If I just go to my website dashboard, okay, so this is the website. Okay, so you can see I have one update available. So how to do that? We have to simply use our plugin command, plugin update, and we can pass all. To update one specific plugin, we can provide slug of the plugin, and to update all, we have to simply pass our all parameter. So this way, all our plugins will be updated. All right. If you see this, it says it's downloading our Elementor because we have update available for the Elementor plugin only at the moment. So now it's unpacking the update, and very soon it will be updated. So if you see so far, we have just opened our dashboard to show you certain things. Otherwise, we don't even needed our dashboard at all. We can perform our maintenance, updates, and almost everything with WP CLI. Alright, so if you see, it has been done, and if I simply reload it to see if it's work or not. Alright, so our plugin got updated successfully. That's how we can do that. Alright, so you are also obviously seeing all these details here, but I am showing you because for beginners it's better to understand through the UI. Alright, next our fourth command is to update our themes. For that, it is same WP theme update, and we are passing all as parameter. Right. So if there are any updates available for our themes, those updates will be performed with this particular command. All right. So our themes are already updated. Next command is to download, install, and activate a plugin. For that, we use again plugin command, and this time we will be using our install command, and we have to pass our plugin slug. So we are using our SEO plugin, and we can also pass activate if we want to activate it as well. So what this command will be performing, it will be downloading our SEO plugin, which is Yoast SEO. Then it will be installing it and activating it. All right, that's how we activate a plugin along with downloading and installation in one single command. All right, so it's installing our plugin. So here it is, our plugin got downloaded and activated. So if I just go and check into the dashboard, so we can also see here. All right, so here it is, our plugin got activated successfully. Now our next command is to export our database. All right, we can pass any name to our database, like I am using wpdb export command, so I can say it like backup.sql. All right, so it says our database exported. So if I just check in my directory, okay, here it is. All right, you can see the time and date. It just got exported. All right, so next command is to import our database. So again, we have to simply use same command, but this time for import, and we have to pass the name and path of our file. So my file is residing inside the same folder and the name I have written here. So I have to simply click on the enter button. All right, so our database got imported successfully. If we want to verify, we can check these things here. We will not be seeing any changes because we just exported this very same data and then imported it without any issues. All right, so once you have updated a database or site, you have to use your search replace command. All right, what it will be doing, it will be simply replacing all your old urls with the new one. It is useful once you are migrating your site, you have imported from a backup or you have changed your domain. All right, so if I enter this command, all right, I got no replacements because obviously my domain was fine, so I couldn't find anything. But if you have to perform this, you can do that because it is useful and more than handy to work with. Next command is to create our user. So I can simply use WP user create command. So we can give it a name like username like test user, and we can give it a role like subscriber. All right, so it will be creating a user for us and will be assigning a password. All right, so it created a user with id 6 and it is the password for that particular user. If I just go to users, right here is test user, and if I check it in the bottom left, you can see address bar is showing 6 as a id. All right, so next command is to flush our cache. So we can simply use our cache flush command. It simply clears all our cache. All right, so I am also giving you a one bonus command. Instead of updating your plugins and themes in separate commands, we can always use our commands like this with the and operator. So what we are saying here is that update all our themes and plugins in one single command. Alright, so it says plugins already updated. Now it will be moving towards the theme part. Okay, we are done. Alright, so this way we can change commands to save even more time. These commands are not just shortcuts, they are essential if you are serious about speed, automation, and scalability in WordPress. Once you start using WP-CLI, going back to the dashboard feels very, very slow. Alright, if you found this useful, subscribe for more practical WordPress workflows. No fluff, just real solutions. And today we are winding up our WP-CLI series, and I hope you have learned a lot from beginning towards end. If you want to have more proper videos related to WP-CLI, ping me into the comments and I will be creating more. But by now, our this series is going to an end, and from tomorrow we will be starting a new fresh series with some useful topic. Alright, until then, have a nice time. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.